Throughout gaming history, fishing has frequently been featured in many game titles from differing generations. From collecting all the fish in Animal Crossing, to netting as many fish as you can in Jak and Daxter, the sport of fishing has been included as a minigame in almost every generation and brand of console. But outside of helping the player take a break from the main goal of the game, what about gaming titles where fishing is the goal of the game? Whilst fishing games themselves are quite a niche genre, one game stands above all of them whilst also being completely forgotten: Lakemasters EX. Lakemasters' history is difficult to summarise, as it has almost little to no information on the few websites that it's featured on. But from what I could find, Lakemasters EX was developed by DAS Interactive and published by Midas Interactive in 2002. Interestingly, this was the second to last game that DAS Interactive ever made, which brings me to the conclusion that DAS simply made a fishing game so powerful that they decided to close their doors after their follow-up release when they realised they could never create such a gem ever again. Lakemasters EX was first released in Japan in the year 2000, and then ported over to other countries such as the UK in 2002 by Midas Games themselves. Its Japanese origin can also be seen through its map design, which we will be taking a look at later on. Lakemasters definitely didn't become a majorly successful game, and definitely flew under the radar as a whole, but its niche genre certainly didn't help, and it definitely deserved a lot more recognition than it got. Upon loading up Lakemasters and watching the most relaxing opening scene ever, we are greeted with the most enthusiastic and energized voice you'll ever find in a fishing game.
Your fishing begins now. Lakemasters EX.
And you better get used to him too, because he'll be present throughout the game to cheer you on and also call out every mistake you ever make.
Here we go. Hey, I'll keep it. Line break.
Yeah, good size.
You're the winner. Excellent.
Once we're past the start screen, we're told to choose our favourite character, the selection being man or woman. Both characters include traits such as their casting style, but rest assured this means nothing to the game, and you're simply picking what casting animation you're going to be watching throughout the Lakemasters journey. As we open up the main menu of this game, I feel like we need to mention the incredible and catchy soundtrack that this game has. Upon looking at the progression menu, you can see quite the empty trophy stand. This is because our main aim of this game is to compete in tournaments and win trophies and prizes as the season progresses. Of course, you're not forced to do so, and you can quite easily choose the Go Fishing option to play with no time restrictions and catch whatever you like whilst also gaining points to spend with every fish you weigh in. This game also features a freestyle mode that allows you to fish freely whilst also having the ability to pick the time of the day and the season. Of course, as mentioned before, tournament mode offers us prizes. These prizes come in the form of new lures, and even a private lake of our own. The private lake allows us to catch fish from other lakes and move them over to grow bigger and can be caught again. We can even upgrade our private lake over time with the points we gain to make it even bigger and more accommodating for our new fish inhabitants. In regards to the lakes we have available to us, we have a wide selection of free whole lakes to choose from, excluding our own private lake of course. There's Crescent Lake, Sunset Lake and Woody Dam. The easiest lake by far is Crescent Lake, with it having plenty of deep water and space to fish with minimal hazards. Meanwhile, the other two provide more of a challenge in the form of either shallower waters, more hazards, or lower fish population. Woody Dam in particular also features a hidden torii gate in the deepest part of the water. In regards to the fish themselves, let's cover the wide selection that we have available to us in the game. There's largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, largemouth bass again, and small largemouth bass. Yes, it may seem that the selection of maps and fish is a bit lacking, but who are we to judge when the game hits us with this music every time we catch something?
Fisher. Don't let go.
Also be warned that this music also doubles as a jump scare when you aren't ready. The mechanic around catching fish in the game revolves around applying and releasing tension with the analog stick in response to what direction your fish is pulling. Too tight on the line and it can snap, too loose and you can lose the fish. Keep a good balance while avoiding getting snagged and soon enough you'll have yourself a new fish friend. The selection of lures allow us to try out different fishing styles. Some sink while some float at the surface. Personally, I found the only lure you will ever need is the curly-tailed grub, as the fish seem to find it irresistible. You would think finding the best fish in this game would be quite challenging, but luckily Lakemasters has blessed us with the supernatural ability of being able to see under the water with our boat. This of course is completely fair and balanced, and has no advantage over your fellow fishermen in tournaments.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
In regards to tournaments, the conditions for each one becomes more and more challenging as you progress. At the start, you're free to catch whatever fish you like, and will often win by having the heaviest overall weight of your fish. However, later on, you will be required to only catch fish within certain size or type, whilst also fishing on the more difficult lakes. Some tournaments span over a couple of days, requiring you to come first consecutively in order for you to win the tournament itself. Also, keep in mind that you have to be picky with what you catch too, as you're only allowed to take 5 fish back with you to weigh in with. Upon beating the game, by coming first in the Lakemaster tournament at the end of the year, we are greeted by the credits showing all the names of the absolute legends that created this game. This was actually my first time completing the game while making this video, even after playing this throughout my childhood. It was definitely a good feeling. So in conclusion, it can be recognised that Lakemasters may be lacking in the aspect of fish selection, map selection and overall gameplay altogether. However, personally I feel like this game makes up for it in charm and atmosphere, and the gameplay itself, despite the repetitiveness, can actually be quite enjoyable and almost therapeutic. The game played a huge part in my childhood and it will always be remembered fondly, so much that it inspired me to make this video just in hopes that it gets a bit more recognition. I really recommend that you pick it up and play it if you somehow manage to get hold of a copy. And if you feel like checking out some more gameplay, specifically tournaments, make sure to head over to Psyched Plays PS2, where he has recently done a playthrough, and also huge thanks to him with the help on the info in regards to the game's history. And with that, I really hope that you enjoyed this little short video essay that I made. If you like what you saw, make sure to give me a like and leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.